Rosewood Courts in East Austin opened in 1939 as the nation's first federally funded public housing for African Americans, a fact that gives the complex great historical significance. But the complex is old, outdated some say, and the Housing Authority of the City of Austin is trying to figure out what to do with it. Some residents want it torn down and replaced. Others say the existing buildings, though old, can be renovated and modernized.
This building was built in 1939,
right.
And it's 124 family units here. There's quite a few steps to maneuver to get up to the front door here.
So as far as handicap accessibility, these predate those requirements?
Absolutely.
And has some effort been made to do whatever you can, but it's limited?
It's very limited, again, because the infrastructure is literally made of cinder block and bricks, and it's difficult to move walls. So we do have, of course, challenges with people as they age in place. They're not able to, again, maneuver the numerous steps leading up to the front door.
Is there any way to go back and retrofit this with central air and heat?
No.
Out of the question.
There's just no room for duct chases in here. Again, this is solid brick. It will cost more to do that, retrofit, and again, we're talking about not doing anything else versus going ahead and rebuilding.
Just to retrofit this with air conditioning, nothing else?
Just to retrofit that, and to, obviously that would mean you'd have to update the electrical. We do have washer connections, just no dryer, and again, the electrical load just can't support it. So there are clotheslines in the back of each unit. There was a physical needs assessment conducted on this entire property, and that's where it was going to cost over $115,000 on average per unit just to retrofit everything. But then you're still left with a 1939 product.
What are some ideas on how you nod to the history if you tear it down?
A few ideas have been dedicating some green space to Emancipation Park, which this is the original site of Emancipation Park. There's also been the idea of restoring and maintaining a building or two.
You've seen enough that, in your mind, renovating it is just not the way to go.
Correct.
And
Okay, so we're going up the stairwell.
And these are the stairs. They're essentially concrete.
And notice as you come up, have you felt the heat already?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And again, we cannot put in a whole lot of accessibility features into this bathroom just because of the doorway.
We've just been doing ceiling patches and roof patches. I know they've had leaks and all sorts of issues over the years.
Right.
In general, we want to try to preserve what we can of Rosewood because there's a rich historic character here. There's things that are worth holding on to. For example, one of the things we've talked about is taking one of the buildings and in some way maybe pulling out the back side of it and expanding it and making a community center. But as you can tell, the layout of the rooms, the way the buildings are structured, it's just not great livable space that modern families need and require. You know, the ones that I worry most about are the kids who live at this property. I'd like to do better by those kids. I'd like to do better for the next generation. And this property has held up, you know, to the vision of Lyndon Johnson. It's been here for 75 years. We've been proud to have it, and I think it's operated far better than a whole lot of public housing around the United States. But we think for our city, we can do better, and we would like to have that chance. And we think that that's what the residents themselves are asking for.